Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and today we are just doing some everyday cleaning because it needed to be done. So sorry if this is maybe a little bit boring, but this is at real time. The video is just about 35 minutes long, so if you need to do some cleaning in your place, this might be a good body doubling video for you. But this is a week where my husband and my kids had kind of been in and out of work and in and out of daycare or delays or whatever because we were having a little bit of winter weather here in North Carolina, and we're just not equipped to deal with it that well. And also people, don't want to open up and have people get into an accident and, have that on their conscience or their liability. So yeah, this was a day where I finally had the house to myself for a few hours. So the daycare had been delayed by like 3 hours this day, I think. And they were also closing early. And this was one of the few days this past week that my husband has had to go to work. So I decided just to take the day off. It wasn't worth it for me just to work a few hours in the middle of the day when I knew that I had cleaning to do, when I knew that I had been around people constantly, and I'm someone who needs a lot of alone time, right? I'm fairly introverted until I get to know people, and I just need a lot of time to recharge my batteries, and that has not been happening. So I love my family very much, but yeah, I was at a point where I was just like, get out of my space, please. So I don't know if you can see it, but in the background on the stove there, I have some candles burning to try to just get a little bit of a calm ambiance going on. I'm just kind of slowly making my way through the dishes, loading the dishwasher here. And then I'll have some dishes to hand wash. I've got my cup of tea there over the dishwasher, or on the counter over the dishwasher. And I had kind of given myself a slow morning. So I had the kids until, I think drop off was like 9:30 in the morning this day. So I kind of had a slower morning with the kids, played with them, they colored, we read books, and it was great. It was great to not have to rush through the morning routine. But then afterwards, I definitely took the time to kind of sit down, make myself my oatmeal and tea, so I had some breakfast and a little bit of hydration in me. And then I just decided I was going to go slow throughout the day. I did also have errands that I had to run throughout this time. So I had to go to the grocery store. I needed to figure out what we were doing for supper because since everyone's schedules had been messed up, we hadn't been meal planning or, being able to go to the grocery store. We were just kind of eating out of our fridge and our pantry to a certain extent. And I also had to pick up the kids this day. So normally my husband gets off work a lot earlier than I do. So I usually drop off the kids in the morning before I go to work. And then he usually picks them up on his way home from work. But he actually had to work this evening. He wasn't going to get home until after the kids were in bed. So that meant that I was in charge of supper prep and doing supper and bath time and all of the things on my own, which honestly, sometimes it's a bit of a relief. I don't know if other parents can relate to this, but sometimes solo parenting is easier than parenting with your spouse, especially if you've had a little bit too much together time, right? Just gives you the space to parent in the way that you want to without, constantly having to check in with another adult who has opinions about the situation, right? So that was nice. The kids and I had a really good evening together. They missed their dad, of course. But we had fun together. We watched a couple of shows, which is something that we hadn't done in like weeks and weeks. And excuse me, I just sneezed, which hopefully I remember to go back and edit out because I'm sure it's incredibly loud. But yeah, we had a really good time. It was just chill. and we played some games, and it was raining that night too, so we didn't go on the evening walk. So I had to make sure that Max got enough walks during the day to, make up for not having an evening walk. So now that I'm relaying all of this, I said, yeah, I allowed myself to have a slow day, but I'm also at home cleaning and doing laundry and running errands and walking Max. So maybe more than some other people do on a slow day. I feel like my perspective is pretty skewed because I do have a hard time kind of turning off and relaxing. Thank you, ADHD. But it doesn't bother me. Like, you can see how slow I am going here. I'm not like frantically trying to get it done. I've got my AirPods in. I think I was listening to an audiobook here, which, let me tell you about. So I was listening to just a Mind Mush audiobook, and then I had to stop listening to it. Because the author did something that I think there is zero reason, zero excuse to do if you are a modern writer. So this was a Mind Mush romance novel, right? And I like the ones that have some mystery or some kind of intrigue involved. So this one, the main male character was a spy, and the main female character had been kind of coerced into spying, I guess you would say. She was offered a boatload of money to investigate some people, right? And this is set, I think it was in the Regency era, but historical fiction, right? Historical romance. And it got to the part where they eventually were both captured, and then they're on a boat to France to go, the male spy, I guess, for him to get his comeuppance, right? From the other side's perspective. And so they're in this boat and they're having a conversation, and of course, since it's the two main characters, they're the ones who are going to end up together. But he said something that I cannot excuse, and this is like my escapism, right? This is my escapism for the world, and it ruined that for me. So the guy said, "I've wanted you since your sister's wedding," because he is her brother-in-law's brother, I guess. Yes. So yeah, I've wanted you since your sister's wedding. And I was like, hold up, because the sister and brother-in-law like already have kids in this book, and the main female character is 20 and he is 29. The main male character is 29. And so I looked back. She was 14 at her sister's wedding. It is not okay that would have made him 23. For a 23-year-old, a 14-year-old. Like, what the actual F? Like, how could you write that? Like, how? I just don't understand. As a modern writer, how do you write that? I get if you are writing about an actual historical thing that happened, because it did happen. But saying that and then expecting people to still see him as like a hero or a good guy or whatever you want to call it, I had to stop listening to it. So I don't know what happens at the end of the book, so I had to stop listening. And it's so easy to not do it, because you could have said something like, I've admired your spunk. I've admired X part of your personality, Y part of your personality, Z part of your personality since your sister's wedding, and that's okay. Like, I look at younger people, even kids, and it's like, wow, I really admire the joy that they can find in the everyday. Like, that's not weird. That's not creepy, but saying that you want someone, I just... And sorry for my non-American listeners. You're probably like, why are you so... Well, maybe you aren't. Maybe it's normal to be triggered by this, because I'm incredibly triggered by this. So yeah, I hadn't gotten to that part yet here. I was still blissfully unaware that was coming up. So I'm on the search for another Mind Mush audiobook, but I'm a little bit, how would you say that? I'm a little bit hesitant now to do so because I'm afraid I might run across something like that. And it's just so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. Anyhow, getting back to cleaning, because I'm sure some of you guys use this as escapism, and I'm sorry, but that was my feelings about that, and, you know, moving on, I guess. But problematic, extremely problematic. So here I'm just slowly hand washing all the things. And what I try to do when I'm hand washing to just completely pivot away from that, because now I don't want to talk about it anymore. To completely pivot, when I am hand washing my dishes, I just get my sponge a little bit wet and soaped up, and then I try to wash a number of things like that without any extra water, and then I just turn on the water to rinse. I know I should probably fill part of the tub with rinse water and just put the stuff in there, but I feel like it doesn't rinse it well enough. But yeah, you can see here I'm getting more soap on a sponge and just getting it wet. And like that's going to be enough, water to actually wash it. You don't need that much water to wash things. So that's my way of trying not to waste water when I'm hand washing things, because I know the dishwasher is way more efficient is the word I'm looking for with water usage when washing dishes. But yeah, so at this point I'm just kind of trying to relax and get through these dishes. And I don't even think, I don't sweep, I don't mop, I don't do any of that. This day I just gave myself permission to just do the tidying, do the dishes, do some laundry, get caught up on that stuff so that, we could go on the next day. I think I filmed this on a Wednesday, since that was randomly the day that I needed to be home taking care of the kids and took off. Darn it, guys, now I'm so distracted by that other discussion. I wish that wouldn't have come up. Hate that for me. Sorry if it's put you in a bad mood too. But yeah, I guess I can talk about what else I'm going to be doing today. I have my my list here. For those of you who are unaware, I have a bajillion list going for all of the things. So I do need to go to the gym. Normally I would have gone before my kids woke up, but didn't happen today. So I'll be going to the gym on my lunch break, and we have a ton of library books that are due. So I need to stop by the library, and so I'll probably go to the library first, and then my gym is right next to the place where we get our pizza dough from, and I'm doing this voiceover on a Friday, so it's pizza night, and we need a couple of pizza doughs to make that happen for tonight. So I'll do that. I've already loaded the dishwasher today, but I need to do some hand wash dishes. My laundry is working in the background. I've walked Max already. After I got back from dropping off the kids at breakfast, the kids are finally back to a normal daycare schedule today. Yesterday even, they were delayed, but the daycare center was open until their normal time in the evening. But today has been their first normal day of daycare since over a week ago. So hopefully that will continue, because we definitely don't get any money back from when they're closed, even though presumably the people who are actually caring for our kids there are hourly workers. So they wouldn't be getting paid when they're not there, I wouldn't think. I'm not sure. It's kind of it's a family-owned place. Or locally owned. I don't know if it's family-owned. I think it's just the one woman who owns it. But it's locally owned rather than a big chain. So kind of don't know what their pay structure is like. But I would imagine that if they are not working, they are not getting paid. which is sucky for them, but you know, they want to be safe getting to and from there. So yeah, daycare has been out a lot, but we're not going to get a refund. I think there's only been one time when daycare has given us a refund for kind of excessive closures, essentially. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen since weather is out of their control. Gosh, guys, sorry I'm being such a downer. I'm having a little bit of a tough week, and I guess I'm just being pessimistic. Or maybe not pessimistic, just, you know, maybe being a little bit down or whatever. I think we're about to be done here. Oh, I've got this one pan left. I can tell just from watching this back, I was definitely way over it at this point. Some days when I'm doing the dishes, I feel like every time I turn around, like there's another dish that has appeared. Even though it hasn't, because I definitely stacked it there to begin with. But it feels like that sometimes because it's just never ending. Like I probably have about the same amount of dishes that I need to do sitting on my countertop right now. But I decided to do this because this is slightly more urgent than the dishes to get done. So I have enough time to edit and get this uploaded for y'all within a reasonable amount of time. And you know what, guys? I was thinking about doing like a Valentine's Day decor video just with like heart-shaped paper chains and that sort of thing, but I have just not been in the mood to do that. So I'm not going to. So maybe next year, maybe. So sorry if you're disappointed by that, but maybe if I had my heart pillow covers, I would be more kind of like rah-rah into it. But that's one of the things that I have that, you know, is on my no-buy list. So speaking of no-buy, if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch the video. I am needing advice about how to proceed forward with my no-buy goals because originally it was a 4-month deal where I was going to be done by the end of April, but the situation has changed with daycare costs going up, with healthcare costs going up. It's definitely not going to be fiscally possible to hit my goal by the end of April. So I have some questions for you in there. That video does have chapters on it, so if you want, you can just skip to the chapter. I've labeled it something like I need your help or I need your advice or something. So feel free just to go there and skip to that chapter if you want. If you have opinions and like to give them, I would like to hear them. Oh good, we're wiping down the countertops now. That means we are almost done. And I do definitely, I think, just fling this stuff on the floor and then leave it. I have since swept the floor. I've not mopped yet because y'all know how I feel about mopping. It's just, I just don't even think to do it. It's not that much of a pain in the butt. I just don't think to do it, to be perfectly honest. Maybe it's because my floors are kind of darker in color, and if they were lighter, maybe it would bother me more. But like I said, I'm not necessarily a super clean house person. I'm just a tidy house person because of the clutter factor. And I don't do it in this video, but later that day I did go ahead and, you know, finish drying off the dishes and put them up so I didn't just have this huge stack of dishes sitting there. And if any of you are wondering why there isn't a wall plate on all of those switches over there, I don't know if you can see it that well or not, but the back wall is tiled. And my husband in the summer started to put in a tile backsplash. And just this side of the kitchen he couldn't get to, and we still have not made it around to that. So maybe next summer we will get that side tiled and put the wall plates back on. I should probably just put the wall plates back on. It doesn't take that long to put it on and off, and makes it look less bad. All right, here we are in my kids' room, and since we had been playing that morning and then we were going to daycare to drop them off at a specific time, usually after they're done playing, I ask them to clean it up, but this time we were just trying to get out the door and get to daycare. So I let them know, hey, guys, don't worry about it. I will pick it up. And, no worries. I'll help you out today picking this stuff up. So this is me using my son's power drill to try to unscrew these screws out of like a little plastic workbench. But he had screwed them in so tight, I have to use his little toy wrench to loosen them up before I can unscrew them with the electric drill. I mean, it's a battery-powered drill, but that's what I'm doing here. I guess I could have zoomed in for you guys, but sorry about that. I wanted you to get a big view of the overall stuff on the floor. So this is, like when we're in the middle of playing, this is what it looks like. Although that bin kind of in the bottom left corner there, those are magnet tiles. And I looked at the bin, and the lid to the bin is just like in the middle of the floor for some reason. We actually hadn't played with that. I think that was while I was getting ready for the day. That's probably what they were playing with my husband. And I looked, and there was like a whole bunch of magnet tiles missing from that bin. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to find those. But yeah, for everything to fit in my son's toolbox, you have to kind of take the workbench apart and take the battery off the drill. But he loves that thing. My parents got that for him for Christmas this past year, I think. But he loves bringing it out and, fixing things. And whenever we have mail to open, he'll go and he'll get like his fake box cutter that's in there and pull that out to slice open the mail. Let's see, what were we doing with these blankets? Oh yeah, these are just like baby blankets that we've had for forever, and I keep thinking, oh, maybe we can get rid of them. But my kids love playing with them, so now they're just like play toys. I think they were both pretending that they were Elsa, like from Frozen. And they had asked me to tie these around their waists and around their necks, so they had like a cape and a dress on. So both of my kids were playing Elsa. And that's me getting distracted by, there's crap on top of here I need to fix. But I think I had just vacuumed the rug the night before. So these things don't have too much dog hair on them. But again, they're just play blankets at this point. They'll use them for, like costumes, or they'll put them on the floor for like a picnic blanket. Or what else do they do with these? I can't remember, but they're kind of like, I don't want to say old-timey, but it's one of those types of toys, if I can call a blanket a toy, where they use their imagination to play with it, and I appreciate that. So I don't want to get rid of these because they don't take up that much space. Wow, I fold slowly in real time. I'm so used to watching myself clean in like a double time. But I was also, slow as molasses this day too. Gotta stop for a tea break. Oh, I think the box cutter from his toolbox was under the blanket, so I just went in the closet and put that up. This is a picnic set that they've had since my daughter was maybe 1 or 2. And they both just love playing picnic and tea time. So this is one of the toys that we're always kind of like, should we get rid of it? Like, we've had it for a really long time, but they still play with it fairly frequently. So highly recommend this toy if you have kids. It also has like an on-off and volume on there, and you press, there's a little button on the side, and it tells you like put in the star shape, because it's got little shaped holes in it. So this is me. I have found the rest of the magnet tiles, and I'm going to put them back in this bin. They were just kind of shoved on top of the dress-up stuff for some reason. But the kids have been doing a really good job at keeping this closet organized. I think having the clear bins really helps them be able to see where things go. And this one just goes on top of the bookcase, but it's really helped them kind of keep things where they need to go and made it really easy for them to clean up. And this is me not wanting that sticker to be sticking out. So particular. But I think that's pretty much it for cleaning up I was about to call it the nursery, the kids' rooms. Ignore the naked dolls. Their clothes were just in their bed. And the rest of it is honestly just doing some loads of laundry. But I don't even know if you get to see me take out a single load of laundry. I certainly didn't fold any this day, because I think the last time I checked the laundry, which I didn't include the clip in here because it's just me being frustrated, checking the dryer, seeing that it's not dry, and then I like break one of the doors and have to put it back on the hinge. But I was like, it's whatever. Not certain why I was just randomly staring at it there. I think by this point in the week, I had just kind of had enough. But yeah, I did remember to put some before and after pictures in this one. So if y'all like the before and after pictures, make sure you take a look at those. I'll make chapters for this one when I upload it, so you guys can jump around if you want to, since I know the normal speed is maybe not something everyone enjoys. But if you are cleaning your own space with me, you have less than 10 minutes left to go. So you're doing a great job. You are killing it today, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. This is me also looking at my washing machine and thinking, man, I really need to clean the washing machine. Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Well, usually the laundry stuff is so sped up anyway, but one cost-saving thing that I have done, and kind of maybe environmental thing, I'm not certain, but I switched from the OxyClean to just normal washing soda. The OxyClean does have an extra thing in it, like an extra kind of peroxide ingredient compared to the washing soda, but so far I've been really happy with the washing soda. It's quite a bit cheaper than the OxyClean. I want to say, oh man, I should have looked it up before I started saying this. I want to say a 3-pound box was like $5 something for the washing soda, and the OxyClean is normally like $8 or $9 for a 3-pound bin. But I've also switched to normally have the Tide Pods, because I don't like liquid detergent. It gets messy. It dripped and it ate through the paint on the top of the dryer. It's gooey. I don't like it. So once I ran out of the pods, I switched to just the Tide powder, because with the pods, I liked them because they're convenient. You can just grab usually 2 and like throw them in the wash, based on your wash size. And here I just come in from walking Max, and it was rainy, which is why I have my rain cover jacket on. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the pods, they're convenient, but I've also just kind of randomly heard about, like those aren't good because of microplastics and all this sort of thing. And I haven't looked into it at all, so do your own research, but just thinking about it logically, it's like, yeah, that outside does feel plasticky. I'm sure it's not like the dissolvable cornstarch or whatever that they make like packing peanuts out of, because those dissolve when wet, right? And this has liquid in it. So I'm sure that is plastic and it does dissolve. So where is that going? So I figured, why don't we try switching just to the powder form? I'm already scooping powder in anyway. So let me just scoop some other powder in here. And so far, it's been working absolutely fine. And per load, it's cheaper than the pods. So I think we'll probably stick with just using the powder. but that seems to be working pretty well. And I do use dishwasher pods, which I'm thinking about. Maybe I should just go back to the old style powder. I mean, we used that growing up. It worked fine. So I might do that. It's probably also cheaper. They just, at the main grocery store that we go to for our supplies, it's Lidl. At our Lidl, they don't have like a powder-based dishwashing detergent. It's all either pods or like the liquid. So I'll have to look into that. Maybe we do go to Target for some things, like Max's dog food and whatnot. So maybe next time I go there, I'll have to take a look at that. I think every single one of my daughter's nightgowns was in this wash. She prefers these nightgowns to anything else, even when it's pretty cold at night. But because of the material, they've got like sparkles, and they have this, it's not tulle, but kind of like a tulle overlay on a lot of them. Like, I would just be so irritated, like getting this stuff wrapped around me when I was sleeping. But she doesn't have issues with that. She runs real hot when she sleeps, I guess, and she likes how they look, and she doesn't mind, I guess. Maybe she just pulls them up when she sleeps so it doesn't get wrapped around her legs. I don't know. But these are all 3 of her nightgowns that she has that she loves. And these were hanging up in the laundry room drying, and honestly, by the time the dryer is done, these are dry too. It's a material that doesn't take very long to dry. But she was sad the other night. She's like, they're not clean. I'm like, they are. I just haven't had a chance to move them from the laundry room to your closet. I said, if you ever want to wear a nightgown and you don't see it in your closet, you're always welcome to just go and open the laundry room and look and see if you have any nightgowns hanging up in there. If they're hanging up, they're clean, and you're welcome to come ask us to get them for you. We're definitely at the stage of trying to teach our daughter to do more things for herself. Like if she wants some more milk and we're all sitting at the table eating supper, she can scoot herself out, get out of her, she has a booster seat, but we don't like attach them into it anymore. So push herself back, go get the milk from the fridge. And if it's, heavy or full, like we'll help her pour it. But the getting up and the going and getting it and bringing it to the table, she can definitely do that stuff on her own. And making sure she clears her spot after she's done and puts her dishes in the dishwasher. My son is also starting to do that with a slight success. More often than not, we just tell him to put his dishes in the sink, and he's just tall enough now to do that without breaking things. So we're really trying to give the kids things that they are capable of doing and ask them to do those things themselves. Because we want them to have people to rely on, but not have to rely on others for simple tasks, right? And this is me just doing the requisite pocket check, because inevitably there's a chapstick or like a dental floss pick thing or tissues. When I miss a tissue, I don't know if you guys have had tissues go through your laundry, but it's pretty irritating getting all of the little disintegrated pieces of tissue out of it and out of your dryer lint catcher and out of every single other piece of clothing that was in that load of wash or in the dryer with it. But it looks like we're close. That's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoy the before and after pictures. I hope that going forward I'll be a little bit more upbeat. I think it's just been a rough couple of weeks personally and just world-wise. Like, what the hell? Let's have some calmness. And I hope you are doing well and you feel safe. Here are the before and after pictures for your satisfaction. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see some of my other content. And I will see you the next time. Bye.